Gomez and Company welcome former SU quarterback Eric Dungey thanks to Liverpool Pool and Spa on the flagship station of SU football, TK99 and TK105.
Live from Oregon, Eric, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm actually down here in Vegas now.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. So are you, is that in the hotel then where you're doing your thing from here this morning?
I am actually staying at my wife's aunt and uncle's right now. She's got a lot of family down here, so honestly, spent a lot of time to come down and see them, and it's an easy trip for me to come down and watch Cuse play. So I was absolutely ecstatic when I found out they were playing down here at UNLV. So it'll be a good time. Got some former teammates who reached out to me. Got my wife's family. Got a lot of people who are going to be at the game, and what a better time! And I'm just really excited to watch Cuse play live in action. So.
Who are some of your former teammates who are going to be at the game and that you're going to try to go out to dinner with or whatever?
Yeah, so Eric Anthony, Luke Arcenega, and then Aaron Roberts. I believe Sean Riley's down here, and then one of the football student managers, Adam Israel, as well. So they all texted me, and I'm sure there's some other guys down here who we'll run into. But those are some of the main guys that I'm excited to see. It's been a while. Eric Anthony and I have stayed close basically ever since we left college. See him all the time, but it's just going to be fun. He's living out there on the East Coast still. So going to see him rarely, but what a place to meet up here, down here in Vegas. So.
Well, it's just fun, and I know a lot of fans who went there, and I know some people who are going to go to the game tonight, and they doubled it up and got tickets to see the Eagles performing at the Sphere tomorrow night, so they're making a big weekend of it. Now, as far as football in general, Eric, obviously in the East, for high school football, we're well aware of, the high school football in Pennsylvania and Ohio and New York and New Jersey and the northeastern states, and we don't hear much about high school football on the West Coast. Here's a chance, as fans are out in Las Vegas and UNLV, to maybe get a little taste of the culture out there. What is high school football like on the West Coast compared to the East Coast? Because I'm sure, obviously, there's great players. We just don't hear about them.
Yeah, and I think, now that, there's a new day and age for, recruiting and everything, I still remember when I was a junior and senior in high school and trying to just get recruited. I mean, I used to always want to go to Duke, believe it or not, and they reached out. I would actually send them. Yeah, trust me, believe it or not, but it has quickly changed. Obviously, not a Duke fan at all anymore. Bleed orange, but they told me that they don't recruit out of the West Coast. And one, I thought it was bogus. Two, I always wanted to play Duke again, just because I wanted to kind of show them, how I really felt about them now. But I think for now, it's just, kids are able to get looked at. Oregon especially. I think there's a lot of talent that comes out of Oregon. But down here in Las Vegas, I mean, there are just, some kids that can fly. You got some real gunslingers. And I think the game has really changed now. People are more focused on just one sport. I think back when I was in high school, there's a lot of 3-4 sport athletes such as myself, but people have really just specialized, whether it just be football and basketball or football and track is kind of what you're seeing now, just to work on that speed. And it really, really, really shows. Especially nowadays, you see some receivers and some running backs who can just fly down the field. And that's just because of their special team. They've really just ironed in and honed in on their craft. They know that they want to play, whether it be receiver at a D1 school, and this is what they have to do, and this is the path they have to get there. And in order to do that, they separate themselves. There's a lot of guys who can run and catch a ball, but who are the guys that are going to really separate themselves and run away from the defenders as opposed to just being able to catch the ball and get tackled? So.
Well, on to the game itself tonight. Obviously, an important game, ranked UNLV team, and obviously last weekend they didn't skip a beat with a new quarterback and their situation they're having there, throwing up 59 points. When you look at UNLV, what does the team, what does SU, what does the Orange have to keep an eye on and watch out for?
Yeah, I think, honestly, the Orange, they just can't beat themselves. They have to play clean. They have to play discipline. And we just got to limit the turnovers. I think this will be a breakout game again for Kyle McCord. I think he's been consistent all year. It's just making sure that we're cleaning up the entire offense. So, no false starts, no mental mistakes. Those mental mistakes are really, really, really going to hurt you down here, especially when you play against better competition. The windows get smaller, the room for error and the margin of error gets smaller. So really have to make sure that you're playing clean football. But I mean, kind of touching base, Hodge Malik Williams. I mean, what about a guy, we were talking about Matthew Sluka the prior weeks, but this kind of just shows you for the NIL stuff. I mean, it was basically over $100,000, and now the kid just lost his spot to a guy who was hungry for a chance. And I don't know. I mean, it hurt him. I think it shows, and I don't know if UNLV is going to want to touch that, or the players or any of the coaches or anything else. I mean, it just kind of shows what he's thinking about, and I understand it's a new day and age. You have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But I think he could have gone about it in a better way, which I think we spoke about in the weeks prior. And, now it's really showed. Now you got a backup who's come in, and he's like, all right, this is my chance. I'm going to make sure that, I take it and I don't look back. And that's what's happened. UNLV has not missed a beat, and honestly, they might look even better, and they look more efficient than they did with Matthew Sluka at quarterback. So it's going to be a tough game for Syracuse. They have to show up, and they have to play discipline. I think it might be a pretty high scoring game, is kind of the gist that I'm getting here. But hopefully Syracuse defense can step up, and then offensively Kyle McCord can get the ball to Orande, who's been really quiet the past 2 weeks. Trevor Pena, who's just been consistent, and then Jackson Meeks. If those guys can all just start functioning on a level, then we can put up some points and walk out of UNLV with a win. And really want to see Syracuse get a win here. Excited for them, and excited to hopefully meet some of the players and Coach Brown himself. So.
Well, it is exciting. I mean, it's just a great venue. And I remember when it was announced last spring that this game was going to be on the schedule and where it was going to be at Allegiant Stadium, immediately people started to go online and start looking at hotels and flights. And it's just a cool experience for the team. And I know we talked to Coach Fran Brown earlier in the week on the nighttime show, and they're staying well off the Strip.
I was just going to ask you, where are they staying and who's watching them?
They're well off the Strip. And Coach Fran said he personally goes around at curfew, knocks on every team member's door, and there better be 2 guys, however many are supposed to be in each room. And then it's like they lock them in, and we'll see you at breakfast. But it's we joke about it, but it's a business trip. That's what you're going there for.
Yeah.
The sideshow happens to be one of the cities with the most distractions of any city that you can think of. But
it's such a test. It really is a test. It's like putting candy in front of children. I mean, you have to really buckle down. But I mean, if the coach is coming, you are going to be in your bed.
Gotta be.
And I think this Syracuse team is different too. And you talk about distractions. I mean, you got a lot of guys. You got 18 to 22-year-olds. I mean, I don't know. Now with college football, you got some 25, 26-year-olds, I feel like now. But I think you got a lot of guys who, with the distractions of, hey, I can go down to the lobby, or I can go, taking 5-minute Uber, go gamble, go play this, go there. I'm in, the Sin City, the most fun city in, the country. I've heard so much about it. For a lot of these guys that are on the East Coast, they might not have ever been to Vegas, but I already know Coach Brown has touched on it probably multiple times, and just the importance of, hey, we are here for a trip. We are here for a business trip. We have a game. We have something that we need to handle. The fun is going to be after the season. That's what the off season's for. You'll earn that trip. But right now we have something to handle, and I think all the guys will take that seriously, especially the ones who are starting and going to be play those plentiful minutes. So, but yeah, you're right. It is like putting candy in front of a baby, but I think Syracuse is going to show up and they understand the assignment that's asked. So.
When you were playing, Eric, say when you were still back in the day playing for the team and had a trip like this to Las Vegas, who on the team at the time of your teammates would have been the one to really keep an eye on as far as being distracted by
you can't make them out as buddies, Gomez. Come
on. First off, I wish we would have played anywhere west of the Mississippi. We didn't have any games really on the West Coast, nor even close to it. And I've been telling people, it's just, missed out with the NIL, but also missed out on just being able to play on the West Coast. For me, I always took it very prideful. I always wanted to play against the Stanfords. I always wanted to play against, Cals and all these other teams. So for me, it would have been a great opportunity to kind of go down and show what was happening. And, really what those teams that skipped out on me were missing. But no, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about who we should have kept tonight. think our team did a pretty solid job. Maybe my freshman and sophomore year, there were some guys you had to look out for, but after that, junior, senior year, we really kind of turned the ship around, and guys were disciplined, guys were focused, and it really showed with the record and just kind of how things really progressed from the first couple of years to the final couple of years once we kind of built that culture. And hey, this is what we were doing. Off season though, guys had a great time. Or after a win, you had a few hours, go enjoy yourself on Marshall Street. But you know what? When Sunday morning hits, it's back to business.
Listen, Eric, thanks. And thanks for doing this from the relative's house. Now, it's obviously 5:20 a.m. Las Vegas time. Did you wake up anybody in order to be able to join us here? Is anybody go knocking on the wall going, hey, keep it down in there?
I sure hope not. They're just going to hear my big mouth, but no, I think they're all right. I let them know, hey guys, I got a pretty early morning call tomorrow, but that's why they put me in this room. So they're great people. My wife's family is just truly, they're all Italian, so they're familia. That's really the only thing that matters, and they understand, and they work hard. So it's not an issue for them.
Oh, Gomez, before we let Eric go, real quick, can we ask him about the Hallmark casting call?
Sure, if you'd like to.
Eric, they're casting for Hallmark, handsome Hallmark dudes. You fit the bill. You could be, or you know what? If you're not a lead guy, you could be a brother of the handsome lead guy. Hallmark is casting.
Well, that would be something. Maybe I could just be the background guy. I'll walk by, I'll trip or spill some coffee or something.
Do whatever.
Try to get my name.
Eric, listen, thanks. Enjoy the weekend there. Say hi to the family and the teammates there. And on Monday we'll touch base. Now, will you be back in Oregon on Monday? You're going to be in Vegas for a couple of days.
I will be back in Oregon Monday morning. I'll be flying to San Diego for work for some conferences, but other than that, I will be
on Monday. Go Orange.